I've been saying for some time, don't get me wrong, there is a symbiotic relationship between China and the United States. China doesn't have enough food and we don't have enough technology.
Yep.
But there's this point of friction in between called Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
And so walk us through your next prediction, because this is enormous. I look at Huawei's got a third of all telecommunications equipment on the planet is in the hands of one company. I mean, you could say that there is a tangible national security threat simply because of China's dominance in the technology sphere. But again, there's this thing in between, and the biggest semiconductor producer in the world happens to be right there in Taiwan. So walk us through where you see this headed.
Yeah. So I've written extensively and talked extensively, Danielle, about the idea that this US-China rivalry is not just a trade conflict. It's not just a tech race. It's not just a space race. It's not just an arms race. It's not just a currency war. This is full spectrum, great power rivalry. Let's not call it anything else. That's what it is. And so I think that's an important context to think about, because when we get to this thing that you indicate wisely is between us, this little island, Formosa or Taiwan, we have provided de facto security guarantees to protect them. We also have signed in the Shanghai Communique that there's one China based in Beijing. And so in theory, we don't recognize this entity that we're providing support to. In theory, we're going to protect an entity that is a portion of another sovereign state. And the Chinese view this really as quite insulting, right? It's that, I actually met with some very senior Chinese political leaders last year. And the analogy used was, well, wait, Vikram, how would you feel if we sold military equipment and arms to California? I said, well, actually, you don't understand. I'd be fine with that. But he said, no. I mean, like if it was part of your country. I was like, yeah, I understand. I'm joking because the Californians think differently than the rest of us. But they view it as arming one of their states effectively to be independent, and a foreign country supporting that. Especially given the context of the sort of foreign powers carving up China in the 1800s through the early 1900s. This is a problematic history. They believe the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation state has been coming together. They've reclaimed Macau. They've reclaimed Hong Kong. They're bringing back the sort of territory. And here's this one thorn that their rival in a great power sense, continues to support. I think it's got the potential to be a flashpoint. And I don't know what that flashpoint or how that flashpoint actually comes into relief, so to say. But is it conceivable? I think the Chinese were trying very much to diplomatically turn the political tide domestically within Taiwan. I shouldn't even use that word. That's an assumption to call it domestically within Taiwan, to turn the tide.
Chinese would prefer that you use the term domestically.
Yes. Well, the idea being the Chinese were trying to get a local sentiment in favor of reintegration diplomatically, peacefully, et cetera. I think after their crackdowns on Hong Kong, the Taiwanese election went the other direction, and that resulted in a resetting of strategic thinking around how to reintegrate this wayward province back to the motherland. And America stands in the way. So I think it's a flashpoint. I think it's a real potential problem. It's something to watch closely. We'll see, this could be a real test of U.S. military resolve in the Asia Pacific.
Well, the stakes are pretty high if you consider how you started answering the question with a clash of two superpowers.
That's right.